Now, over the past couple of years, we have seen endless amounts of fans really expressing their concern and their skepticism about the future of Star Wars and exactly where they want things to go, and thankfully, all because of John and Dave, they really have been listening to the fan base, to the entire community, and we're all ears for what the community has wanted for the franchise for the past couple of years now, ever since the sequel trilogy came to an official close. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future Star Wars updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. Now, given that, yes, we have a lot of things happening between George Lucas and Jon Favreau, as well as Dave Filoni, really pre-planning the entire roadmap of this franchise that's ever evolving and just getting larger and larger every single week. We know that they are about to unveil part of the roadmap at Celebration, and more of it at D23 later this year. However, that brings us to the next big thing about what Rosario Dawson had to actually say about what Dave Filoni is planning to do with the Skywalker Saga, and exactly how a lot of it is to be expected to be reset and shifted around in a very unique way. Rosario Dawson had a couple of things to say about that, since she has been promoting the Ahsoka series a little bit here and there, and talking about her role as Ahsoka in future Star Wars installments. So let's dive right into everything here. Now, one thing is for certain is that, yes, we know that Rosario Dawson has a very extensive, mind you, multi-show contract deal. Alright, so she's going to be in many different projects for the years to come, and a lot of different TV shows that's going to have cameos of her again as well. So that brings us to the biggest thing of all of what Rosario actually had to say. So, with actress Rosario Dawson now back as Ahsoka in her upcoming series, set to debut this fall, she went on to tease a couple of things about what Dave Filoni is about to do with the entire Skywalker saga as far as resetting it goes. Rosario Dawson went on to state the following to the fanbase. So, I think it's okay that I can say this, but I have been having great conversations with Dave regarding a second season, and his plans are just fantastic, with where we are going to end with Ahsoka and how we plan to pick things up again in the series. One thing I can confirm is that we are looking over ways we can initiate a reset to actually see exactly where it could all go, so to speak, against the Skywalker saga, in order to shift around certain things that happen in this massive timeline to give us better options and freedom to what we want to do, and a lot of this is going to be accomplished with a very special place that we plan to discover and adventure into for our planned second season, especially that will be teased in the first one at best. So, I want to just stop here for 1 second. Now, obviously, Rosario Dawson is alluding to the world between worlds. Now, we know that the world between worlds is going to be a very big deal in Ahsoka Season 1, but it's going to be an even bigger deal in the second season. So, that's one other big thing to actually take into equation here, is that this is going to be the tool that Dave Filoni is going to use to reset aspects of the Skywalker saga. There's no doubt in my mind that this is exactly what Rosario is alluding to, because we went over the leaks, of course, about how the WBW is going to have a major influence on the Skywalker saga shifting around a little bit as far as what happens, from the points in Episode 1 all the way until the very end of Episode 9. Some things will be shifted around, and Dave Filoni is doing that in the most proper way possible, running things by George Lucas, making sure that he's okay with certain things, and so that it feels secure. So, again, like I said, I think that Dave Filoni knows his limitations. He's not going to go too far on things, but he's not going to do too little at the same exact time. He really is going to make sure that he's going to make certain changes that allow them to have even all the more freedom in the world to do whatever they want to do to bring back Star Wars Legends in the mix in the upcoming timeline of the Star Wars franchise. Now, we're not talking about a multiverse or anything like that. That is not what is happening here. Basically, what's happening is that certain things in the Skywalker saga are going to change, and the greatest example of that is what happened in Rebels when Ezra Bridger literally saved Ahsoka Tano from near death by the hands of Vader in that Sith temple. And if it weren't for Ezra Bridger, it's very likely that Ahsoka would have met her demise at that point in time. So it's stuff like that that's going to be shifted around, especially in Ahsoka Season 2, and Rosario Dawson confirming that the second season of Ahsoka is going to have a lot to do with creating those opportunities. So moving on to the next thing here, of course, Dave Filoni goes on to elaborate things further, or should I say Rosario, about Dave. She goes on to say, Dave has great plans on how he is going to shift around the Saga plot points and adding more meaning as well to certain moments in this franchise. What he is about to do with Ahsoka and how she will be involved in making this happen is going to be, I think, surprising to many people who love this brand. Dave has this deep love for the fandom and the entire community, and is aware of fan criticism that he wants to put an end to by utilizing a specific plan he has in mind to reset pieces of the saga that's going to be done at a great deal and at a great length for the Ahsoka series and more. I am honored to have been a part of this series, and I hope to continue to be a part of this franchise for the years to come. It's just been so exciting keeping things a big secret. So the other thing that I do want to touch on real quick is that we know that Ahsoka Tano is going to have some kind of involvement in the upcoming Skeleton Crew series. That's basically the Kathleen Kennedy-driven project, by the way, that John and Dave helped out a little bit with for a temporary time, and their big involvement was throwing in Ahsoka to become a part of this location called the New Beyond. Now, we're not quite sure what the New Beyond is just yet, other than the fact that they use the Force in different ways in this location of the galaxy, or wherever it may be. It could be a different realm for all we know, like how the WBW is a different realm, or the Netherworld, or the realm of Mortis. It could be something like that. So this really is a very interesting time, especially for Rosario Dawson, teasing about what's to happen in Ahsoka Season 1 and 2. We know that Disney confirmed a couple of weeks ago that Ahsoka is indeed going to be an ongoing series, not a limited one. And that's fantastic. I like that they are expanding the mythology of the franchise, everything to do with the Jedi, the lore, all that fun stuff, all that real engaging content. So overall, we have Rosario Dawson really putting Dave Filoni front and center here, labeling him as somebody that's really going to change things around for this saga that's going to be everlasting. And they basically want to make sure that it's not going to be controversial, or that it's not going to spark any kind of backlash. They're taking the necessary steps to be very careful with their ultimate decisions. And that's what they're taking a lot of their time with, making sure that whatever changes that they are making, that they are going to be the right changes and not changes for the worse. So I have a lot of faith in them, I really do. So overall, guys, fill me in below in the comments what you guys have to say about all of this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.